Okay. My wife, beautiful wife, Nicole. Say hello, Nicole.
Hello.
We have her mountain bike, and one of the reasons, main reasons that she doesn't ride it is because it shifts terribly. It is a 3x system, which means it has 3 gears in the front, and therefore getting that aligned with a cheap rear derailleur it's just really problematic. Most mountain bikes nowadays have a 1x system, so there's only 1 gear in the front, and then 10 or 11, even sometimes 12 speed in the back. So we are going to upgrade Nicole's bike, brake pads, full drivetrain, crank, bottom bracket, shifters, everything today, and hopefully it goes well. So, but the goal is for have Nicole do it all, and I'm just directing. I think I'm going to get hands-on on a couple of parts, but for the most part.
No, I'm not getting my hands on like.
Oh, okay. For the most part, hopefully we'll still be married after this is all done. So, all right, here we go.
How old my bike is.
Yeah. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do is we're going to basically disassemble everything. So,
Do I get to put gloves on?
yeah, do you want gloves?
Yeah.
Sure. So come over here, and we're going to cut off this end of the shifter cable.
Just the
And
end.
then throw it away. Yep. Perfect. And then the other one we want to do is the front derailleur cable. So you want to come over here and cut this one. Perfect. First thing we want to do is loosen the bolt on the shifter cable. Okay, so that's out.
Do I have to retain?
You can let go.
Do I have to retain anything?
Nope, because we're gonna take it off.
Okay.
All right, next one we want to do is back here is the rear derailleur. So loosen that bolt.
Buzz on my mouth.
Oh, sorry.
This?
Yep. Second, you want to, we'll go ahead and just take this out. So loosen up that bolt. Good job, muscles.
I'm just loosening
All,
it?
yeah, take it all the way out.
That's not what you said.
I know. So now that you got it loose, now you can take it all the way out.
Okay. Hold on.
And that's probably gonna fall. So
What's this whole thing's gonna
Yep.
fall? Okay.
that is called the derailleur.
Got it. Right.
Perfect. Oh yeah, we need to break the chain. Okay, so go ahead and let that dangle and pull that cable out.
What a waste. I hate wasting stuff.
Well, it's not an 11-speed chain, so we can't use it.
Just saying.
All right, so now we're gonna get the chain breaker, which is a great song in church, by the way. And you're just gonna put these silver things like in the chain. Actually, we want to loosen it some more. Yep. So you want to turn it like this. Put the silver thing like in one of the chain links. Doesn't matter which one. Yep. And then start tightening that.
Do I need to grab the derailleur?
Nope. And what that's gonna do,
So I just keep going?
yeah, and it's gonna push a pin
Okay.
out. It's gonna take a little bit of effort. There, it's getting easier, yeah?
Yeah.
And then
I feel like there's a little
out.
more,
Right,
okay.
so then loosen it so you can pull it back out.
You told me I didn't have to catch it. Ah.
Yeah, it's fine. It's not exactly fragile, so. All right, and then you can pull the chain out. And then I'll put this on the chain wall of fun where I've collected all my chains over the past few years. We're gonna come over here, and there's a clamp that holds it onto the bike, and we're just gonna take it all the way that one.
This?
Yep.
forgot to tell you, I saw a wedding when I was on my run this morning.
Oh, wow. So next thing is with the yellow tool, again, we want to take off the brake, and you just have to loosen it so we can slide it off. Now we can start taking cables out. So we'll go ahead and take off the rear one first. And for those of you who do not know, the way, at least in the US and most of the world, other than England, etc., is the right side of your handlebar controls the components on the rear. So right is rear. So the right brake controls the rear brake. The right shifter controls the rear shifter.
Am I supposed to be able to pull this off?
Yeah, it's not working. Okay.
Well, I haven't tried very hard, so I'm not sure.
All those cables come out. Yep. And then just untangle it. All these just come straight out. So we're going to take off your front wheel. So you want just with your hand pull that quick release lever down. Actually, we're going to spray some stuff on it. So I'm grabbing the rear wheel, which I already put the cassette on because that was one of the hardest things, is I didn't know if the spacing was going to work. She was going from a 9-speed to an 11-speed. I wanted to make sure it worked. So we're actually going to bring these outside and spray brake cleaner on the rotors because I think they're a little contaminated. This is not it. I use 3M high power brake cleaner. So pretty simple. And we're just going to spray both sides. So okay, so we're going to let that settle a little bit. Oh my gosh. Take 4. We're going to let that set a little bit, and then later we're actually going to take a little bit of sandpaper and then file. We're actually going to file down the surface of the rotor, so it's there's no contaminants on it, etc. Because the biggest issue with rotors and disc brakes, at least on bikes, is contamination. If you get a little bit of lube or oil or something on it, brakes don't work anymore. So, which was one of the issues that you were having. The brakes didn't work very well. So. All right, so now that we're here, we are going to take off the crank and bottom bracket, etc. So it's this kind, which is a square taper, and I'm actually going to put the camera on the tripod here because this may take a few hands. The way this works is there's a bolt here that screws into the actual crank thread itself, and then there's this round piece, and as you get it in there, you move this piece and it pushes this and then pulls the crank off the axle. This is a square taper axle system, so it's meant to stay on by force, so sometimes it takes.
Are you sure?
Yep.
Okay.
Cranks have been on here for years.
I get a lot of use out of my stuff. Or I get a long use out of my stuff. Not a lot of use. What? Wait a minute. So it wasn't me. It was the tool.
Potentially.
Go figure. Look at that kickstand.
Yeah.
Jason's anti-kickstand. No, I still want it.
Okay. Your prerogative.
I want it until I don't want it, so just let me have it a while longer.
All right, so this tool, it's the same tool, but it has a smaller round part.
I don't know if it's going to be better or not.
There it is.
Wow, look at you.
So now if you want to film this, if you look at a square taper, so it's obviously square, and it's tapered to get bigger on the inside. Getting there. Yeah, it's gonna get easier.
I mean, I get carpal tunnel. Do you have workman's comp?
Yes, you can take tomorrow off.
Oh, thanks. It's Sunday. I was planning on it.
That works out for both of us
Okay.
then.
There we go. It was
All
not
right.
a trick.
And then you should be able to just pull that crank off now.
Right now?
Yeah. All right, now you need to crank the crank puller out.
Silly question.
Yes.
So this whole thing is the crank? This doesn't seem...
So no, this is
is
the
a-
crank.
Isn't this a cog?
This is called the front sprocket, and you
Yeah.
have 3 of them. And this is kind of, I actually don't know what that's called. That's probably part of the crank.
What's a cog then?
Yeah, these are cogs,
Well, okay.
but they're called sprockets. They're also gears. So you had, how many speeds did you have on your bike? Do you remember?
I just clicked the thing until I ran out and I couldn't.
Okay, so there was 9 in the back,
Okay.
which is typically called the cassette.
Okay.
Those are gears, cogs, etc. And then you had 3 in the front. So math-wise, you had 27.
All right.
All right. So
Did not use all of them.
now we need to take out the bottom bracket, and I am going to put this on the tripod because this could be quite hard. These are all the different bottom bracket tools I have for different bikes, etc. So we just got to find the right one. I have a pretty good idea which one is the right one.
Jason has a bike problem.
Boom, baby. Okay, one of the issues with bottom brackets is one of the sides has reverse threads, and I don't remember what side it is. I believe it's the right side has a reverse thread.
You can't tell by looking at it.
No,
Okay.
and the idea is as you're pedaling, it would technically loosen the bottom bracket or the pedal or whatever. And that's so if something does get bound up and you start pedaling, it doesn't force it so tight that you can never get it out. It's better to have it come loose, believe it or not, than it has to tighten. So I believe this one's going to be righty-loosey. Other side. So this is part of the bottom bracket, and so this is the shell, and then obviously the axle just spins out. And this is still good, so we're going to keep it. So I think these pads are contaminated, otherwise I think they work just fine. So these are the brake pads. This style has fins on them to help with cooling, but being honest, Nicole probably will never have to use that feature because she doesn't bomb downhill like some other fat male adults in this household.
I use those brakes like nobody's business.
So what we want to do is, you see that pin? We need to straighten that pin out so we can pull it out. Let me back
How
it
many
up.
times have I accidentally poked you in the face because I didn't know I was so too close?
I don't know if you can tell, but I just took a big step back.
Okay, wait a minute. I think I can't tell.
No, it's not quite straight. So you shouldn't have to squeeze, you should just bend it.
What?
It's
You
just the
didn't say
one.
that.
I thought I did. I'm sorry. So you just need to bend it down, and then you might be able to pull it out. So with the pliers on the other side,
Okay,
just try
that's
to
what
pull
I
it
was
out.
gonna try. I'm gonna like hit myself in the face. Hit myself in the face and hit yourself in the face. Let's try this. This is painful. Oh wait, maybe now I got it.
Okay.
Ta-da!
Perfect. All right, that's the little pin that held the brake pads in. So with the brake pads, with 2 fingers, grab it, and there's a spring in between. Just pinch it, pull it out, and you should have everything. All right, let's put it over into my spare box of parts fun. Perfect. Okay. And then we're not going to do pads just yet, but we need to do the same thing on the front. So right now we're going to clean. So why don't you grab one of the dirty rags, the green one or the white one, citrus degreaser, and spray your bottom bracket shell down.
Hold on, your lid's. Okay, you can take my kickstand off.
Yeah?
That almost gouged myself in the eye twice.
But I mean, if you want it, it's fine.
That's okay. Do it before I change my mind.
Well, that's what I was thinking. All right, probably just shaved 1.5 pounds weight from your bike, so it'll be that much easier to climb. All right, we can always put it back on. It's really easy.
Yeah.